Hello, everyone. Here we are, Module 4 of our spring semester in 2024. So you know these are live videos because I just gave you the date, and hope everybody had a great Easter. All right, so Module 4, big module, a lot going on with that, so we're going to jump right into it real quick. But I do want to say, for those of you that are watching these weekly update videos, thank you for doing that. And as a special treat, hold on till the end because I got something for you. So again, for those that don't watch it, well, they're going to miss out. But please hold on to the end because I think you'll like what I have for you. All right, let's go ahead and get right into what we're doing this week. As far as our review, last week, great job. Thank you so much for the progress journals. I really appreciate the feedback and the thoughts there. That helps me with the course and kind of seeing where we're going and just the general temperature of things. And I always appreciate your thoughts on that. So again, thank you very much for those. Other than that, Module 3 was pretty much a standard module for us. And again, everybody's just chugging along, doing a good job. One thing that has changed, actually, that I see these quizzes on here, I realized that I was not releasing the answers to you. So those answers are now all released. So you can see that after you have completed your final attempt, remember you got 3, so use them up. And after you've completed your third attempt, it will release the correct answers to you. So there you go. So hopefully that setting should be, we'll be using that setting going forward for all of our quizzes. All right. Module 4. Don't let this one freak you out, but it is kind of a hefty module, so I won't. I guess I won't try to make it seem like it's lighter than it is. This course is a big deal because we have our midterm, and it is a proctored midterm. So just to get the basics out of the way, we have our normal flow of our chapter quizzes, and you can do them 3 times and all that stuff. And then we have our discussion on budgets this week as well. Let me talk a little bit. Let me just jump right into the midterm. So the midterm is proctored, as we've talked about, I think, quite a bit already in these weekly update videos. So we have a proctored midterm. Many of you have already been through the proctoring experience through other classes, through ProctorU here at Mercy College. If you haven't gone through a proctored experience yet in any of your classes through ProctorU, and that's the company that we use to administrate the proctoring experience, you're going to need to kind of get up the learning curve on that. And there is a learning curve for sure on how to kind of get it going. Once you got it in place, if you can talk to your fellow students, once you know what the pros and the cons of getting it all set up, you're pretty good. So for those of you that are already ProctorU, I guess professionals and have been through many exams through ProctorU, you can kind of, maybe tune out a bit because you know all the ins and the outs. But especially for those folks who have not, you do want to delve into this. And I have a couple of resources here that you really want to read carefully. Okay, so we have the ProctorU student instructions. Go through there, take a look what's on this page. Go through all of these, steps. Watch the videos. Everything here has kind of a real value to it in trying to making this experience less stressful for you. I've also included the 5-step guide to live review. That's what we call it. Let me just kind of go back to, for those of you who may be totally clueless as far as what this may be, is you are going to be scheduling your exam through a service that will watch you take the exam through your laptop camera. There is a process that you go through with this. You want to make sure that you do exactly what it says in there to have a smooth experience, such as, and again, I talked about it in an earlier video, and we'll talk about it in these steps, but your testing area has to be devoid of everything. You have to be kind of in a quiet, private place. You can't have dual screens. I mean, there's some things that, just don't expect to, like, oh, I'll do this in the next 15 minutes. I'll start this. No, you want to make sure that you've read through and you prepare so it's less stressful. As I mentioned, I think maybe in week 1, I've been through a few of these myself for professional exams. And yeah, you really want to make sure that everything is exactly like, you don't want to have, let's see. Oh yeah. So I was taking one and the proctor was focusing in on this. So this is my phone. Like, what is that? What? Let me see. Flip it up because I guess theoretically I could have notes written on here. So I said, no big deal. I'll just get rid of it. So I got rid of it. But yeah, something like you think that this is innocent. They're looking, making sure, I don't know, people want to get clever and, they can do all kind of clever things. So again, go through the instructions very carefully. That will help you have a stress-free experience. So use these 2 resources here, the student instructions and look at the 5 steps, PDF, and carefully kind of go through that and check mark and make sure you have everything ready to go. With that being said, knowing that there is a little bit of a learning curve and some of you may not have gone through this experience, what I'm going to do is I'm extending the date that the final exam can be taken. So right around, I think either on Wednesday, the exam will become available. This Wednesday will become available. You'll have until next Wednesday of Module 5 to take the midterm. Okay, so we've got a good chunk this week, and then we've got a good chunk next week. And you can take it on the weekend. You'll have a wide open window to take it within that time period. One of the things to stress to you is that you do have to schedule it 72 hours ahead of time. So kind of like mark it on your calendar. Maybe you want to take it Monday. Well, then you're going to have to schedule that 72 hours ahead of time. So just to be on the safe side, plan on that 72 hours ahead of time to schedule that. So again, pick your date you want to take it, and then figure out when you want to schedule that exam. I would you do want to complete. My recommendation is that you would do the quizzes for this week before even attempting that. So knock out quizzes 14, 15, 16, and 18. We're not doing chapter 17. And there's a few chapters in this book we're not covering. Not that they're not important. It's just I had to make some editorial choices to keep the readings reasonable. And 17 was, though it's a valuable subject, but on Six Sigma, I think we could probably do without it was my choice. So we have some other bigger topics that we need to cover. So with that, I'd recommend that you knock those quizzes out before taking that. So push that test date back towards, later on in the week, maybe a Saturday, a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of Module 5. So that would be my recommendation. Also gives you a little bit more time to study as well. Let's see, what else was there? I think that pretty much covers it. Again, I want to make sure that we have a stress-free experience as much as possible with that. Do you remember that, again, you'll be on camera throughout the exam. Make sure that you've, whatever study materials, you don't have them out or anything like that, or they will flag the exam, and then we'll have to, I don't know. So just make sure you follow all of the instructions. Okay, I think that's pretty much it on that. Do get started right away. If you're a newbie on ProctorU, start working through this process. So when that exam pops open on Wednesday, you can go ahead and schedule your window. And that you're kind of, you're ready to rock and roll. All right. I think that covers it. Okay. Now, I promised you guys, if you stuck around to the end of this video, a special treat. And here is the special treat. I'm going to go through the first 10 questions of the exam. So you can screenshot this, or it's a video. You can always pause it, whatever. So you can, I'm not going to give you the answers. We're just going to kind of do a slow scroll through here on these first 10, but you can pretty much guarantee yourself that you're going to knock out the first 10 of these questions. If you want to have the answers all ready to go, you can look them up, go for it. Also, it'll give you a flavor of what type of questions that you are facing on the midterm. They're very similar to the level of difficulty or the wording of your quizzes. All right, so the preamble here, again, this is going to be a 50-question exam. That's going to cover material through this module, Module 4, so Modules 1 through 4. You'll have 150 minutes to complete the exam. So what is that, 2.5 hours? Yeah. So you have 2.5 hours to do that. You can use a non-graphic calculator. I think I mentioned that last week. So you can have a basic calculator if you wish. You can have a pencil or a pen. Again, the reason might be some calculations. Not terribly hard, but there's probably some ones that you don't want to do in your head. Calculations. And then you can use one blank 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Just get one blank piece of printer paper. I wouldn't use anything out of a notebook or lined, because then the proctor will look at that and they'll start questioning. Just have a blank piece of printer paper, and they'll have you look at front and back of it. And then, just do that. That will save you some hassle, because I've noticed even students who've used lined notebook paper have had some issues. All right. So, and then there's the typical that academic integrity stuff. All right. So let's go right into it. So the first 10 questions. Okay. Income from operations is reported on the what? Okay. So screenshot that. Let's go on to the next one. Oh, sorry about the jump cut there, but it had timed me out on the exam, so I had to go back in. All right, so question 2. A decrease in the number of patients treated should create. And we got some revenue and variable expenses questions. Clinical care managers are responsible for. I think that's out of Module 1. Again, you can pause, and if I'm going too fast, just pause the video, screenshot it, however you want to do that. I'd probably screenshot it, and then I'd take the screenshots, I'd put them in a Word document, just cut and paste, and then I would take my time and get all these answered. Question 4. As you can see, each question is worth 2. A little bit of math here. Maybe that one you can do in your head, but I know it can. There most likely be some ones that you wouldn't want to do in your head. Like maybe this one. We'll just pause there, get your good screenshot on that one. Okay, question 7. Another one probably don't want to necessarily do in your head. On the equity financing ratio, remember there were some key, I think we had 4 or 5 key ratios that we hit in that particular chapter. Question 8. Question 9 and our last one. All right. Again, you can always go back, get your screenshots, put them in a Word document, and get all of these answered. Now, the one thing, and I don't want to surprise you guys when you get into this, but there are some true false as well, which we have not had in the quizzes. Yeah, we haven't had any true false in the quizzes. So there'll be a good chunk. I want to say maybe 15. I think I got 15 of them in there. About 15 true and false. So yeah, those are, some people like them, but so not all of them will be these multiple choice. So again, I don't want to pull any punches there. Give you a little heads up on that. All right. I think that covers it for this week. A lot of stuff. Just stay tuned. If something else does come up, I'll throw another video or maybe just a quick announcement in the class, but I think that should pretty much cover it. Long story short, for those of you that are new to ProctorU, start getting that process started. Get your, you got to do a Chrome extension. I don't want to necessarily get mired into the technical parts, but I'll give you some technical. Chrome. Basically, you have to use Chrome. I wouldn't. Apparently, it does work with Firefox, but nobody here has ever verified. They say it does. I know no one who's used Firefox for this. So, and most of us use Chrome, but you're going to have to use Chrome because there's an extension that goes into Chrome to make your life a little bit easier. And I did mention to you, camera-wise, again, this is totally up to you. Because one of the processes that you may go through is what they call a room pan. Well, they'll have you take your camera and pan the room, making sure there's like nobody hidden under your desk who's secretly telling you the answers. So I found it very difficult to, you can still do it, but I found it difficult to pan the room with my laptop. Let me grab a laptop. Nothing shows like example, right? So you got your laptop and then you're like, oh, okay. And then you're doing this and now you're getting super frustrated. Again, what I found is just a kind of a basic webcam that plugs into my USB port, and then I can just take the cord and go boop and scan all around. So that made it less frustrating for me. But to each his own. And usually you might want to have your laptop plugged in so you don't lose power. These Macs are pretty easy, but then there's one more cord that you're kind of jiggling with as you're trying to do that room pan. But that's up to you. Maybe try it without, and then just use your regular laptop cam. And if you realize, this is not for me, spend $20 and then, get a webcam, and that might make your life a little bit easier, because you most likely will have additional ProctorU exams during your time here at the college. So, and I think we talked about AI and some of the reasons it's driving all of this, and to preserve the integrity of your degree. This is kind of what we're doing. All right, guys, that pretty much covers it for this week. If you have any questions, let me know. I am getting some questions as I'm actually filming. As I'm shooting the video here, I see those popping up because they're wondering where is the midterm. So I'm shooting this on Monday morning. Again, the midterm should pop up on Wednesday, and then you can go ahead and schedule. But I highly recommend you knock out your quizzes first, and maybe get those answers for those 10 questions that I gave you. Get those set. We've got plenty of work to do. And then schedule your exam, which will then push that out about 72 hours. If you want to jump in on Wednesday and schedule as quickly as possible, then that'd probably put you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday-ish, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe look at taking it then, or Monday, Tuesday, or all the way through Wednesday of next week. Okay. All right, guys, that pretty much covers it for this week. Everybody have a fantastic week. If anything happens, shoot me an email or, text me. All right. Thanks. Oh, and best of luck on the exam.